The S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100. Now, this is what we've been talking about and waiting for. We've been telling you for the past few weeks that the market's bullish, whether you like it or not. We keep saying it over and over and over. Now, we did anticipate a little bit of a dip, Tuesday kind of coming into today, but you really got no dip. That was the craziest part. The crazier part is you go into the data here, and CPI basically comes in core at expectations, but headline comes in lower than expected, right? And this is even crazier because when we look at the prices of energy, I don't think that that's even being priced in yet. So on the day, you mount our key level we talked about yesterday, and you shoot back into all-time highs. I'd be willing to bet my left testy that you're making new all-time highs into tomorrow, unless something terrible happens to the broad market. Okay, so right now I'm going to tell you off rip. QQQ, SPY, you look amazing. QQQ, you're at all-time highs. SPY, you're at all-time highs. The only thing that isn't is necessarily those futures. So again, futures rule the world. Like Beyonce said it best. Girls run the world, right? So that's what we're looking for right there. Futures, the emotional roller coaster here. You're trying to break out. You break above these levels, you are running. And I think that's going to happen tonight. Now, again, there are some interesting things we've been covering as well here, right? Semiconductors, SMH. We've been very clear about SMH. And again, you mounted your key level and went up. So we have a lot of stocks we have covered in today's video. Then I think that a few of these have even more potential to run. And I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, and it might get very good here in the summer. Also, Bitcoin, getting above 64K. Again, this is what we thought would happen. Once you start to see the market start to get the love, the inflation reports get the love, it's going to roll over into everything. We have a lot to cover, but first, let's go into our sponsor.
And now let's briefly talk about my favorite investing app and the sponsor of today's video. If you're interested in trading the exact same broker in which I'm using for options and what I'm doing market research on, this is exactly who I'm using. This is Moomoo. This is their platform on their desktop. You can also check it out for the mobile app as well. This is their live news feed. And if you're thinking about making the switch, right now is a pretty good time because right now they're doing a 1.5% cash reward up to $300 if you transfer in. Or if you're just getting started and you want to kickstart your journey, Moomoo is giving you 5 in each of the Magnificent 7 stocks when you make a qualified bonus. You can go down and scroll and see all of this. It's right there on their website. Check them out. The link is down below.
Okay, so what we're going to do really quick is go over just very, very, very quickly into indexes, okay? So NQ, it's very simple. All you're looking for right now is to mount above previous all-time high, which is right there, 18,707. You get above, you've tested it today. You get above that level, and you are going crazy. So tonight, that's all I'll be watching. Put a little, have a nice little glass of wine tonight with your family, right? I'm getting married this Sunday, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a drink tonight, right? I'm gonna give a little celebration, right? What can I say? I'm gonna look for that breakout, the retest, and continuation all into tomorrow. Same thing on ES. Isn't it funny how this is all timing out the same exact way? Do you find it a coincidence that all futures are breaking out together? Crazy world. Again, same thing there on ES. You're looking for the breakout locally, 53.33. That's where you're looking 53.33. Yeah, you're looking for that breakout there. There's a lot of threes. Break and retest and amount. The only thing that isn't there yet is the Dow, but I think the Dow is a big winner. It's getting above 40K, and I think Dow will get into this party as well. It typically lags reaching those all-time highs. Okay, now, where do I get excited, guys? Where do we get excited? Is when we have opportunity. If you've been on this channel for any time at all, you know your boy Tyler loves his opportunity. You can see the Lux level up here, but again, it's going to be a little bit tough, but that's what we're looking for. Now, opportunity, it's what gets me up in the morning. It's what gets my stones, gets them rolling, gets the juices flowing, and it's what keeps me going throughout the day. And we've been saying SMH semiconductors were the biggest opportunity of all. We've been saying this on repeat. If you don't follow us on Twitter, you're doing yourself a disservice. I'm going over every single chart, what we're looking at, everything in between. So everything that I'm mentioning here has been mentioned either here on Twitter or in Discord, just to let you know. So again, SMH bounced their key level, made supports from our Lux levels, shooting up. Volume today, incredible as well. Now, what were the SMH stocks that we liked? Number one, NVIDIA. I've been saying NVIDIA above 924 for maybe 3 months at this point, okay? And congratulations if you bought. I'm going to tell you right now. You get above it this morning, you kind of actually fall down, get back above it, and you go straight into our next key level, 946. You hold 946, which you're doing right now, going into tomorrow. I believe you're making an all-time high run. 970, 980 coming very soon. I love what I'm seeing here on NVIDIA. I think the party, again, is just getting started. AVGO, what did we say here? Again, if you're in Discord, I called this out literally yesterday or the day before. Do what you got to do. But again, as we look here, you're mounting your level, shooting up. Very bullish, very, very, very strong. And you're pushing through what? You're pushing through all-time highs. Again, if you do not follow me on Twitter, I have been saying this on repeat, right? Over and over and over, okay? That's why I'm so big on some of these names. And I know some people, this isn't for me to say, I told you so, this or that, but it's for me just to show you why we're so big on finding where the weaker names are and where that volume could really come into, okay? Also, if you're interested in our indicators, our Lux levels, everything like that, the link is down below. So again, I don't want to go over too much of SPY and things along those lines. I want to get a little bit more interesting here, guys. I'm going to go over more of the options that I'm playing and what I'm looking at for myself. So today I was pretty sick, to be honest, and I'm trying to get better because, again, like I said, they got the wedding this weekend, so Ali will kill me if I'm sick, even though it's not really my fault. So again, going into AMD, you're getting above like your 159, 158.7 level we had marked out here. You're pushing up. Now, your next level is clearly here, 164. Above 164, that's where you get very bullish. And again, if you're like looking at semiconductors and you're like, what do I trade, this or that? Am I late? You are late. I'm going to tell you that now. I'm scared money doesn't make money, but don't worry. We're going to go over to Moomoo and look at some of the chain here. When I look at what's happening here, I like monthly contracts. They're my favorite. I'm going to go towards June at the very earliest. June contracts make sense, okay? June 21st. After that, you might be able to go for something like July. I don't love them. Not my favorite personally, but I think June, with the way that AMD is moving and how it can move, I actually grabbed a few Junes just to let you know. I'd be going slightly out of the money towards 165s, maybe 170. But again, the big play here is you are assuming that you're going to get that push into that 164.5 level, which was your previous all-time high in 2021. If you mount this level, I think you could run quickly into 175. But again, I just want to say that's target number one from here, and I think AMD's a monster play. Shout out to Jay for calling that one out today. You know, when I was down, the next man stood up, right? NVIDIA, I don't really know what to tell you here, guys. You have earnings, I think, on Tuesday coming up. I've been saying it forever. I don't really know what else to say. Personally, I have some NVIDIA calls. You know, again, Jay's been killing it with these call outs. We've been saying the same thing. It's some of these trades I don't have to call out because I've been saying them for weeks. You just got to do what you got to do. But again, even the monthlies for June are still moving good, even though you have earnings next week, something like the thousands. And I think it's a strong possibility that NVIDIA could move towards $1,000 before earnings. I'm telling you right now, the biggest factor you're looking at is what's happening here with Qs. And I'm telling you right now, semiconductors are the top dog, head alpha, top of the food chain when it goes into the Nasdaq. And when Qs are pushing all-time highs, I'm mainly focused on semiconductors. Okay. So again, I like NVIDIA. I still think you can make money on these, but I'm going to tell you, obviously, like if you're trading with like a $500 account, you're not going to be able to trade these, but do what you got to do. What I'm looking at, things along those lines. A few days ago, I told you about Micron as well. I said, if you want to trade a cheaper semiconductor, Micron's probably the name to trade. It's not one that I like trading, but if you want a cheaper name, I didn't like AMD as much until now. But again, Micron, you're breaking over all your levels. We mentioned one here yesterday. You broke out. Guess what happened? You know, those micro contracts are moving very good as well. So again, when I'm looking at the chain, what I'm looking for monthly, I'm not trying to trade weeklies. Maybe if I'm trading like a quick NVIDIA scalp, maybe. But for the most part, you're still making all your money on these contracts, right? 41% on the day, 26%. All these contracts moving fantastic, okay? Just showing you how much you can make. These are cheaper options as well for some of you guys, because I know some of you guys don't want to pay, you know, the premium of, you know, an NVIDIA or an AVGO. So I try to show those opportunities as well. Another big name here too was Adobe, something I've been talking a lot about. The 200 SMA is right here. You can bring this up right there. Basically 480. You mounted it. You had a false breakdown. You broke back up. You mounted. You moved up again. I think Adobe is one of the most undervalued names here personally. Above the 200 SMA, I love the upside potential. You start to break back up. I think you're looking towards, this again, my personal opinion, towards 523 and then the 200 SMA at 550. I think this could be a name in the next few days and weeks that we come back in and look and like, wow, Adobe, you know, what a monster play. Again, something less on the tech side is Home Depot. I've been saying Home Depot for a while. I love Home Depot. Something that I kept calling out beginning of the week was I expected a dip into PPI and CPI based on inflation reports. So this was not a shock or a surprise for myself. And the fact that you're bouncing makes total logical sense. You hit your 200 SMA in the bottom at level 333. You bounce strength overall. This is exactly what you would like to see. And I'm telling you now, Home Depot short term, room into 356. But I genuinely believe Home Depot can start pushing back into 362, 375. Again, Home Depot moves good. You need to understand that. I go and look at Home Depot. Contracts are very affordable as well. 350s are $6 basically at the money. You can go $10 out of the money for $3. And again, you're not that far away either. So again, those are positions. You can even go further dated if you want to have more security, more safety. But again, that's what I like here, guys. It's not the... we fall in love with some of these plays to a certain extent, but you got to fall in love with the great setups. And that's what I'm trying to harp on here. And I'm trying to make sure we're focusing on every single day in the market. Now, really quick into some of the memes, giving you a visual here. GameStop, you had a little bit of a dip on the day, kind of bouncing back here. In the after hours, you're slightly down. We'll see. This really is going to come down to where you close at the end of the week. I believe if you close above $35, you're going to get options expiring in the money, and you can start seeing a lot of covering happening there. But wait, have to see end of the week. But again, the higher you close here, the better. I'll have a better viewpoint going into Friday and how I feel totally about GameStop. Until then, a little bit on my toes. I don't want to rush into anything here. I have like one small position, but that's about it on GameStop. Nothing too crazy, and I don't want to make the whole video about memes or GameStop. The other side of this, guys, too, I didn't cover it, but DXY coming into the 200 SMA, breaking down like we thought would happen with any good data. The 30-year yield coming tumbling down. I am telling you right now, this is the perfect storm. I'm going to end the video here. This is the perfect storm of perfect storms right now. You're getting the stock market blowing up into the summer. You're getting yields dropping, which will indirectly affect home interest rates for mortgages into the summer. This is set for a boom going into August, September, in my opinion, which goes into the election, which I think we'll probably have a lot of stagnation into then, maybe even downside. But I'm telling you, this, I'm not going to say it's our last run, but it's set up for a pretty nice run over the next few weeks. I'm excited. This is what we wanted. This is best case scenario. Everyone was saying panic, 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 dip, dip, dip. Well, again, it's not about being biased. It's not about, giving you the 100% trade every day. It's about, one, being right in the market and focusing on how we can be right and finding our edge every single day. And I believe that's what we've done here on the channel. I'm proud to say it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, traders.